rag reeks of smoke. Someone plugged the chimney. Impressive. The sack of grain retained the shape of an impact. Someone hit their head here. A small Navy spyglass. A scrap of Hessian. These were sturdy boxes. It would have required a serious blow to break them. A Maori nose flute. Ngurus, they're called. Clothes made of Hessian. Is Stenwick really so miserly? Button chops, the remains of a meal. A heavy chemical odor. Lend me your nose, Doctor.
Ah, I'll never forget that smell after my time in Afghanistan. That's an opioid, Mr. Holmes, a narcotic.
The ashes are long since cold. No air coming through it. Is this a Taniwha, a Maori water spirit, or something else?
Either way, it's giving me chills. Stenwick makes his servant live in a tool shed? You think you know someone?
Is this spyglass familiar?
I don't recognize it.
Could it be Kimahir's, perhaps?
I doubt it. I never saw him with it, nor could I suggest how he might have come by it.
The door to your garden has an interesting lock.
Yes, I have uncommon locks on every door of my mansion. It makes them harder to pick. Kimmy here and I both had a set of keys.
I'll need to borrow them.
No, you'll need to do what I tell you to do. Examine the garden. Where on earth are you going with this?
Has Has Kimahir ever indulged in tobacco?
No, the man doesn't even drink.
Are you certain? I found chewing tobacco in the garden.
I controlled Kimahir's expenses since he struggled with the currency. I would have known if he used tobacco. I thought you were meant to be intelligent.
Do you happen to know Kimahir's shoe size?
I wouldn't have the foggiest. But I'm sure it was enormous. Not that it matters. He spent his life barefoot. Despite my best efforts, he simply did not take to shoes. Are you joking? Why would I know this?
I came across a pile of Hessian clothes in the shack. Are they Kimahir's?
Yes. I had to give him something to clothe himself. He seemed unfazed by his bare skin, but I found it distracting.
The rag reeks of smoke. Someone plugged the chimney. Someone moved a cart to this spot and then took it elsewhere. Can't see it anywhere in the garden. Surveilling from afar, the intruder waited for a window of opportunity. When Kimahir went to sleep, the man crept up to the shack and slipped narcotics down the chimney pipe, then blocked it with a cloth. Kimahir inhaled the sedative and fell into a deep sleep. The intruder tried to move him, but the man was heavier than expected. The intruder fell on the sack and dropped his spyglass. In order to transport the servant, he had to use the cart. The final challenge was opening the garden door. Luckily for our intruder, Kimahir had the key in his shack.
Remarkable. It makes total sense.
You'd best have found something by now, gentlemen.
I fear that someone may have spied upon Kimahir. Likely the owner of the spyglass I found earlier. It appears they were watching for some time, as there was an impressive amount of chewing tobacco on the ground.
And your point?
You said that you checked the shack earlier. Did you notice the cart tracks near it? Now, one ought to expect a servant to make regular use of such a thing. Indeed, I would have overlooked the detail were it not for the cart's absence. If, as you say, Kimahir never leaves your estate, then where did it go?
I expect answers from you, Mr. Holmes, not questions.
I found the residue of narcotics in Kimahir's brazier. There are several explanations, perhaps your servant's recreational interest, or an attempt at poisoning.
Cut to the chase, Mr. Holmes.
I won't keep you in suspense any longer, Captain. Kimahir was abducted by the owner of the spyglass. When your servant fell asleep, he slipped a narcotic into Kimahir's brazier to make him sleep even more soundly. In order to carry a man as large as Kimahir, the intruder stole the cart and rolled him right out of your garden.
Now, hold on. All this simply to tell me what I already know? Why haven't you found him yet?
I only arrived a moment ago. It is, frankly, incredible that I have already deduced so much.
Every second you dawdle here, waiting for me to stroke your ego, is another second wasted. I'm not interested in the how, the why, or the who. I am only interested in recovering my investment. Spare me the claptrap, boy, and go and fetch my servant.
The point is, Captain, we're telling you this for a reason. The intruder fled through the garden door, and we need a key to follow his trail.
Well, then you should have led with that. Here you go. I hope you'll return soon with good news. And in the meantime, please teach your companion the art of brevity.
A strange substance. I have my suspicions based on the color and consistency, but would you care to hazard a guess, Doctor? Roy Soulsby. Could that be the name of our man?
Well, it's odorless, but from the way it absorbs water, I'd say saltpeter.
Then we're in agreement. Well done. Sturdy rope, professionally tied in a Portuguese bowline. This knot is often used by sailors to create a bosun's chair. Wheels picked up grass along the way. Kimahir's cart, I gather. The strand proved not so useless after all. The saltpeter accident. Doctor, do you recall?
The Port of London, of course. The footwear, the spyglass.
Indeed. We shall need to take a cab there.
Why are you still here?
Where to, Gav? The Port of London, please. I will show you where to stop.
Mr. Holmes, what a compelling mystery we have stumbled upon. Perhaps I have the premise of my next novel.
One kidnapping does not a story make.
Stop! A black cat crossed before us. It's a bad omen.
I do not take you for the superstitious type, Doctor. Such things are mere fantasies, tricks of a feeble mind. One imagines a physician would keep a surer footing in reality.
Perhaps. Before the war, my time abroad was difficult. Once, I came across an Afghan, bleeding, who I could not save. He pressed a rosary into my hand. A gift, he said, so as to gain God's favor. After that...
Dr. Watson?
Yes, well, I shan't get into details, but sometime later I found myself lost in the desert. The Dehydration set in, and things grew ever more dire. The man's words came to me. I said a prayer and placed the rosary on a rock. A gift to gain God's favor.
And you were rescued.
Yes. A detachment of British soldiers found me.
To whom I'm grateful. Without their diligence, you would not be standing here and I would not have this case.
I'm sure you have another explanation prepared, Mr. Holmes, but I think I shall cling to the occasional superstition all the same.
To each his own, Dr. Watson. So long as it does not interfere with my methods, do it. We must press on, cat or no cat. The question remains, why abduct Kimmer here? Do you know anything about this?
I think I can help you.
Can I ask you a question?
I don't think anyone here knows the answer. You should ask someone else.
Do you know anything about this?
It's a shame I can't answer your question.
Do you know anything about this?
It's a shame I can't answer your question.
Oh, hardly a reputable establishment.
I've seen worse. Greetings, miss. I'm hoping you can help us.
We shall soon see.
Miss, what if I told you that you are in the family way?
No, really? Oh, thank you, sir. How would I, a simple woman, have ever known without your help? You must be a doctor.
In a manner of speaking.
He's not. He merely has the ego of one. I apologize, miss. Mr. Holmes is fond of his observations, but I am the doctor here, not him. Do you need any help?
I'm fine, thank you. I would rather not discuss my condition, nor let word of it spread.
I heard tell of a recent explosion in the port. What do you know of it?
Ah, yes. Something exploded in a ship's cargo hold. Caused a terrible blaze. The sky was red with smoke till morning.
Where precisely did it occur?
The ship sank near the third pier, next to the dockyard.
My colleague and I are seeking a burly man, above average height, with workman's boots.
Half my customers, then. Your description hardly narrows things down.
Are you familiar with a Roy Soulsby?
Roy Soulsby? I know the name, but he's not one of my regulars. My guess is that he works somewhere around here.
What do you know about this poster?
A foreign woman asked to put it up. She's plastered them all over the port.
Any clues as to her whereabouts?
None. It was hard to understand what she was saying.
Excuse me, just one question.
No, sorry. I know nothing.
May I ask for your assistance?
Ugh, I'm sorry, but I don't know anything.
The coffin won't go away and the doctor's too pricey.
Could you help me?
I wish I could be of help, but I can't. Sorry.
Do you know anything about this?
I can't help you with this. The coffin won't go away and the doctor's too pricey.
Hello, lad. Is this where I may find Dea?
You read the poster? Yes? You know where my brother Girves is?
Sadly, no. Well, not yet. Where did you last see Girves?
He worked at a, warehouse. This man, Roy Solby, gave him the job. He paid him a necklace.
Do you still have the necklace that Soulsby gave to Girves?
Girves left it near the, shrine. I tried to sell it to buy medicine, but no one wanted to buy.
How would you describe this Soulsby?
He was big and strong. He had a big scary eye.
Scary, you say?
Yes, like it was made of metal.
I want to speak to Dea. Is she around?
Amma, my mother, she got sick after the fire. Big red smoke. She couldn't breathe, so I took her to the doctor. Now I am in charge.
Don't go anywhere.
I miss Girves. Do you think he's okay?
This cheap pendant looks like silver, but it's only made of tin. No surprise the boy couldn't sell it.
I should have helped Amma put out the posters. If she hadn't been in the smoke so long, maybe she wouldn't be sick. I'm sorry about my English. I try hard, but the rules don't make sense. It's stupid.
It appears that the saltpeter explosion rattled the locals. Can't blame them for staying at home.
May I ask you something?
Sorry, sir, I can't help you.
Excuse me, just one question.
I don't think anyone here knows the answer. You should ask someone else. The coffee won't go away, and the doctor's too pricey. Almost no fish the last couple of days.
Well, you looked at man, he's very sick. You like to watch our
sounds
man
as though those people
suffocates
will need my
himself for
help.
food.
Hello, this is Dr. Watson. We'll take a look at your friend. Freshly dug up treasures, it seems.
Everything ends up in a river. It's a good thing these people take something from it.
The water has a curious whitish tinge to it. The subject is hyperventilating. He has a pale face and dilated pupils. Dilated pupils, decolorized skin, necrosis. What do you make of this, Doctor?
All signs point towards acute poisoning. It could possibly be due to chemicals. I won't jump to any conclusions yet.
Do you know anything about this?
Sorry, sir, I can't help you.
It's a large harbor. If our kidnapper is hiding here, finding him won't be easy.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
I can't tell you because I don't know.
Could you help me?
I can't tell you because I don't know.
Excuse me, just one question.
I can't tell you because I don't know.
The coffee won't go away, and the doctor's too pricey.
May I ask you something?
Ugh, I'm sorry, but I don't know anything.
Are you able to help me?
Ugh, I'm sorry, but I don't know anything.
Marl Dalton swears she saw ghosts in Warehouse 2. The coppers even went over there. Must be serious.
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
I can't help you with this. Marl Dalton swears she saw ghosts in Warehouse 2. The coppers even
Are you
went
able
over
to
there.
help me?
Sorry,
Must be
sir, I can't help
serious.
you.
Not in the mood, mate. Shoo!
Pardon me, sir. I am looking for Roy...
Not again. Yes, I'm Roy, but I can't help you find your uncle or whoever you've lost.
Now, what makes you think I would inquire about missing people?
You are the fourth person to ask this week. Just because I work at the port doesn't mean I keep track of everyone who comes here.
You say we are not the first to ask you about a disappearance. Do you recall anything about those who came inquiring?
I only remember the foreign woman. I didn't catch her name, but those are her posters hanging up everywhere. She has badgered me twice now, and I still don't know nothing.
And this woman can be found?
No clue. She was talking gibberish.
May I ask what you're doing here?
This is where the ship sank the other day. I'm trying to work out how we'll remove it.
Now, where was I?
What are you on about? What are you on about? Sorry, doesn't ring a bell.
Have you seen this before?
My card? Where did you dig that up?
At a crime scene near Baker Street involving a young servant's kidnapping, I might add.
No. Someone used it without my consent. How else would it end up there? What are you on about? Sorry, doesn't ring a bell. Can't help you there, mate.
I have been told that you hired Dea's son, Girves, right before he vanished. His brother also said you had a metal eye. What do you make of this?
Tell that him to stop making things up.
Moskva. Sounds like this ship was from the east.
My money is on a loose cigarette or a discarded match. One careless throw, and boom.
Do you know anything about this?
No, sir, I've never heard of it.
May I ask you something?
As much as I'd like to help you, I know nothing about this.
Can I ask you a question?
No, sir, I've never heard of it.
Excuse me, just one question.
No, sir, I've never heard of it.
I don't know, just go.
A recent cart crash. Phenol, a dangerous substance often used as a sanitizer, coming from spade chemicals. The fish's scales have decolorized. What a disaster.
How can I help? I could try and flag someone down. If we stay out much longer, I'm going to need some supper. Do you feel like a meat pie?
Can you satisfy my curiosity?
I think I can help you.
May I ask for your assistance?
Sorry, sir. I can't help you.
planks were broken with force. Good evening, Constable. I heard some people talking of ghosts in this warehouse.
Gossips, all of them. An old lady neighbour saw some lights and ghostly shapes in the middle of the night. She heard music too. Turns out this was the warehouse of Grandpa Kujak. He owned a business with theatre props for scary shows. I went in and... well, it is a bit creepy. But I think it was probably just some kids fooling around.
Do you mind if I take a look inside?
Not at all. It's like Madame Tussauds, only worse. I'll be on the beat round the pub for the rest of the night. Damned explosion. Good night, sir.
Human waste. Despite looking fairly hazardous, I doubt it could cause such acute poisoning. Barrels of phenol from your company ended up in the canal. It has poisoned people. You will need to clean it up properly. Otherwise, we will inform the authorities.
What the... We will call the cleaning brigade immediately. I hope this can stay between us.
Do you know anything about this?
Excuse me, what? I'm not sure I know.
May I ask for your assistance?
Excuse me, what? I'm not sure I know.
May I ask for your assistance?
I can't help you with that, sir.
Excuse me, just one question.
I can't help you with that, sir.
May I ask you something?
I can't help you with that, sir.
I don't believe in ghosts. I did when I was a kid.
An effective contraption. It still works. Who is this intended to scare? Phosphorus, used recently. Where is this going? Several crates are missing. No brand or markings. It looks like a bulk product. Bottles of various shapes and sizes. I detect a mix of chemicals and aromas. A small cart left those tracks. That's most likely the ghost the old lady saw through the window. Somebody had fun. They opened the casket and left marks. There was a box in the coffin. It was removed quite recently. A herbal odor with an acylic base. Liquor?
If we stay out much longer, I'm going to need some supper. Do you feel like a meat pie?